Scan.
Wow, so excited.
You got parents.
Tell her to look into that, because what it's gonna do, if she's sensitive enough to her body, the machine gonna tell her how to eat. Everything the machine know how to do, it's gonna train her to do it if that's her field.
Oh, nice. It says
Maybe I gonna
SpectraVision.
tell you that part.
Right. It says SpectraVision.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it says cilantro and
Green algae.
Green algae. Because I will forget that as soon as I hang up. So I forget very quickly. Short term is really good, but okay, nice.
All right. I'm gonna let you out, and then I'm gonna let somebody else in, sweetie. Okay.
Okay, thanks for talking to me.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Get the guy back in here, man. They done exited the guy out.
Yeah, peace, God. I don't know.
I don't know what happened, man. And you was finna go in, you was going in, and they just buffered you.
Yeah, Instagram be tripping, man. You know they be hating on the guys, man.
Yeah, I think they got a guy that just specifically watch specific people. Like, watch these 10 people here and fuck they feed up.
Definitely, especially when you talking about some real shit. You know, the knowledge. It'd be like, yeah, they don't want that shit to get out, man.
Yeah, but
it's yeah, I'm listening, bro.
Oh, go ahead. I want you to finish telling what you was on. You was going somewhere.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you know, all of us have these psychic abilities, you know, telekinesis, airbending, hydrokinesis, pyrokinesis. All these are psychic abilities, and we all have them. But most of us don't have the time to develop them because we got jobs, we got kids, school, all type of shit. And you know, to become powerful, it takes work, practice. Like telekinesis is a muscle. I call it a muscle. And a lot of our telekinetic muscles are weak because we never work out on them. We need to strengthen the muscle. You feel me? Strengthen the mind, man. I mean, anybody can do it. I done heard the weirdest shit when it comes to this shit, telekinesis shit. Yeah, only black people, we the chosen ones, we the guys, and you gotta be on a vegan electrical diet. None of that shit, man. None of that shit is a prerequisite for telekinesis, man. This is a natural birthright to the humans, to the gods of the planet. You know, of course, you have to be on a certain thought frequency, you know, to access these powers, and that frequency is divine knowledge of self. We have to know we can do these things. We have to know thyself, like truly, not believe. Because I honestly think, though, bro, when I saw it trending over the summer, I didn't believe I can do that. I knew I could do it. And that's the difference. People come to me and they come with the belief mentality, and it'd be very hard for them to tap into things that they can do. But once you know you can do that shit off back, man, it's just deep. But it requires a lot of time, which is put in by practice, though.
You know, that's one of the things right there. I'm gonna let you finish, but that's one of the things what you just said. Practice is so important. And like I learned to practice while I was at work. So when I'm not at work, I can focus on my son and my mom and my dad like that, right? And so while I'm at work, the job I had, I learned how to adapt the job to do the training while I'm on the job. That's the same way I did with meditation. If you see me when I hit a trance, I start pacing in a circle. I can't, it's uncontrollable, right? Because the information hit me like from every angle and it's got me in motion. And the reason why I trained myself for what you call kinetic meditation. Whereas most people sit in a asana position and meditate in silence, and I wanted to learn how to go about my day and still be able to access the psyche. So it was like learning Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a kinetic meditation. Qigong is a kinetic meditation.
Qigong. I fuck with Qigong, definitely. Yep.
Right. So while you learning these things, you don't even know all of the side effects come with the discipline of learning to train in that fashion.
Exactly.
Right? Because it's strengthening all your psychic channels, but you still haven't used them yet. So you got to learn how to control the psychic ability and tune in the psychic channels so that you can access it. It's all there.
Definitely. Definitely. I definitely agree, man. Right on point. Qigong, but I didn't even look at them as a kinetic meditation, and that's dope. And you know, it all makes sense, man. A lot of people tell me, like, you know, a lot of us think we supposed to just be born with these psychic abilities. But I used to think that way too, but it's like these, like, you know, your superpowers are only for those who are willing to put in the work for it. It's a lot of us are lazy. You feel me? We don't meditate, we don't practice, and we don't even want to. We just feel like we deserve these powers. When I teach telekinesis, I tell people telekinesis is only for people who are willing to work hard for it, because you're gonna need to work hard through practice. If you ain't willing to work hard and take the prerequisite steps, then you don't deserve it. You don't deserve these powers. You feel me? I tell people about meditation. You feel me, Joe? Certain practices that they need to do on a daily basis with different objects. People not finna do that shit, man, because they lazy. They just want to wake up and be able to move shit without touching it, and they don't deserve it, because I train with the gods, and these motherfuckers that I train with, they levitating shit. They knocking over chairs, they pulling garbage cans, like heavy objects, but they've been in like five plus years, and they train every day. And I know, like, okay, they deserve these powers. I'm fuck with Russians, Chinese motherfuckers, Joe. We in a Telegram group chat, and there's a lot of powerful motherfuckers in that group chat, and we train together every day on Telegram. So, but it's like I come back to IG, people not even training with for you. They don't even want to do that. They just feel like they supposed to know this shit. So telekinesis is for those who are willing to put in the work for it.
Yeah, that go back to like when, like, for instance, people like, well, what make you qualified to tell the people this shit? Because I put in the most work.
Exactly.
Right.
Definitely.
I went and look, when I was doing my medical studies, I wasn't going to a university. I was doing it on my own. But the conditions put me in the hospital where I'm sitting at the motherfucking table talking to doctors, giving medical advice to other doctors. And when we get done with lunch, they want to know what motherfucking university I graduated from.
Facts.
Right? And so they all talk about their med schools and shit. And I'm like, yeah, well, I went to school itself.
Exactly.
Right? So I use the study to access the information, then you use the ones who's in the field to test the information to make sure that you got it accurate. Right? So when Doc Pitt first came, my herbalist, I went to go listen to him do a lecture, and he did a Q&A session, right? And I can't resist. I gotta ask you questions if I'm in the audience. I gotta ask you something, because you're going to trigger something to make me ask something. And it ended up, we in a dialogue in front of all of these lay people that don't know about homeopathic medicine, having a full physician-to-physician homeopathic dialogue on the functions of the body, the liver, the kidneys, the salts, you know what I'm saying? And all of this stuff, we sitting there. And I'm trying not to overtalk the people where they can't keep up. So now, while I'm talking to him, I'm like trying to turn it down so that they use terms they familiar with, ask questions that I know they want to ask. And the reason I know they want to ask because they telling me telepathically to ask them. Right? But they don't even know they're using that faculty. Right? And that's one of the biggest things about telepathy, that a lot of people can't access it, is because when they get telepathic messages, they think it's coming from themselves. And that's when you have your insanity sink in. Because you dealing with somebody else's demons that's in the next building from you, and you ain't got nothing to do with that shit. They just seen you and was thinking about you, and now you got access to all their dirty thoughts.
Definitely.
And you don't know how to turn it off because you don't have a witch doctor coaching
your
you.
Thoughts. Yep.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question real quick. So you just made me think. Would it be safe to make a correlation between telepathy and empathy? You know, a person that can, pick up on other people's energies. Those are like thoughts. But I know telepathy is to communicate mentally without words or speaking. So
right.
Is an empathic person, is it in the same like lane as a telepathic person? Like just on a different level?
Empathy is necessary to establish the link. Okay. So when you remember when we study in the occult, it tells us about a sympathetic link with an object that can bring the energy of the person, place, or thing into our energy field, and they call it psychometry.
Yep.
Right? So psychometry, telepathy is based on, it's a two-way channel. It's a sympathy channel, which establishes the link, and it's an empathy channel, which accepts the information.
Okay. For sure.
So that's like your positive and negative current.
Definitely. So like, as far as like telepathy, because we, and I'm chief of Whatnot Tribe, and what we teach in my tribe is divine knowledge of self, mental healing, advanced meditation, and we just added telekinesis. But of course, telepathy is in a mental healing practice section. You feel me? And a lot of us don't know. You feel me? Like we so telepathic that we do this shit without even thinking. Like every woman I've ever fell in love with, I had a telepathic connection with. Like I can be thinking of one of my goddesses, as soon as I think, not even 2 seconds later, like as the minute I think about her, a split second later, she's calling or texting. So I sent her that signal, and she responded in the speed of faster than the speed of light, because nothing is
I'm going to tell you a secret about what you're telling me.
Yeah, nothing is faster than the speed of light. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
That connection you're talking about, right? That's your mother's connection to them through you. You are a what they call it, transducer. The energy from your mama's heart linked to yours. She the only place, the first place you got unconditional love was your mother. And for the ones that didn't have a mother, they either had it from an adopted mother or a big mama, right? But once that unconditional love is established for that child, they got what's called a heart link connection now. Because the child is going to learn to love the one who nourishes and nurtures it. And the one that's nourishing and nurturing it is doing it from a place of love. It's a reciprocal link. It's a sympathy and an empathy in action, right? Now, when the boy becomes an adult, he can't control his own mitochondria. He need a female that's going to love him the same unconditional love that his mother loved him. And then his mother is going to be the one that tell her to call him, and it's going through you. You're going to feel it. So you thinking all the time, you thinking about her, but all the time your mama telling her to call and check on you.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you mean now. Yep. And it happened.
So you thought it was your thought.
Yeah.
But it was your mama.
Big mama.
Even if she's not in the physical realm, she still do it. So your mama is the one telling the woman that love you to the same level what to do to make you happy so you won't leave her.
Yeah,
right?
That's deep.
And now, this is why it's necessary for the mother to properly instruct the male child. And that's why Elijah Muhammad used to always say the mother is the first teacher. This is what he's talking about. Because if she fails in instructing him properly and communicating with people, her, and she got like dirty shit on her mind all the time. How she gonna get over on this nigga? How she gonna play that motherfucker out some money? Her son is picking it up, and he's developing a repulsion to women. But if she properly instruct him, that's why in the Nation of Islam prayer, it said, ask for right guidance so you can be rightly guided. And this is the message that they was all, so from Mother Clara, Muhammad, Elijah's wife, who passed the torch to Mother Khadijah, right? The Sister Betty was supposed to get the torch, but Malcolm had to take the heat in order to protect the family. So when he ran the red herring, he have to pick his replacement, and all parties involved got to agree that this is a suitable replacement for Malcolm. He picked Lewis X, and Elijah gave him the name Farrakhan Muhammad. But we call him Louis Farrakhan. And all of the ones involved before the events that was about to take place, independently of each other, all had to feel that he was a good man. And he would be the only one that could take Malcolm's place if Malcolm wasn't here, including Malcolm. Malcolm got to feel that way in his heart. We talking about the sympathy that establishes the empathy in order to make the psychic link for the communication. So before Malcolm had any issues, Betty loved the shit out of Farrakhan before Malcolm fell out with the nation. She looked at him like a real brother. Like, this my brother, motherfucker, come around me. Farrakhan he might not be the best motherfucking scrapper in the pack, but he ain't gonna back the fuck down. Right. She knew that.
He was chosen. He definitely was chosen.
Yeah. Malcolm handpicked him. And he the one presented him to Elijah. Right? And Farrakhan told a story a couple years ago at Savior's Day, how he was standing up there thinking something, and then Elijah was calling him on that shit.
Yep. Definitely.
Right?
I mean, definitely.
So once you understand how we have to protect each other and what we will do for each other, we don't trust the guys. We trust the love. Going back to the title of the video, right? Because if you follow true love, wherever it go, you're going to always be following the path of righteousness. Sirata Mustaqim.
Yep.
Sirata Mustaqim. Straight, narrow way. Because the love has to come for you. All you got to do is At the Feet of the Master was the name of the book. But who is the master at the feet of? The babies at the feet of the mother.
That's a
right?
fact.
So when we're talking about the wisdom is Ein Sof, Sophia.
Here they go.
Not this again. Hold on one second.
For sure. You gotta put your shit on do not disturb. All right, we back.
I think I figured out how to do that shit now. Okay, now
definitely.
The psychic connection being made, the love being true. You can follow the true love, and it's gonna keep you out of all of the motherfucking bullshit. Right? But you gotta remember, as a man, the way that you get around bullshit sometimes is you just go through that shit. Like a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta like it.
Go through it.
You gotta go through it though. You don't have to want it, but you gotta go through it though. So now you putting yourself in the position to be imam out front. See, they use all those terms to confuse us, to make us think you had to be somebody in one of these groups with these secret oaths and secret handshakes and shit in order to get to the divine.
Masonic shit, yeah.
So I'm coming out this bitch iconoclast, Apollyon, the destroyer, tipping sacred cows at every motherfucking turn. Because as long as we holding these sacred cows greater than the self can always be subjugated by a sacred cow. And I ain't finna let no heifer run me. Right? So then you go to, what's the difference between a religion and a cult?
Nothing.
Quality of leadership, of membership. Because they called it a cult when it was the Moorish Science Temple. It was the voodoo cult of Islam that became known as, then they said that it turned into, took the voodoo and went to the Nation of Islam. Right? What they telling us? Follow the magic, motherfucker. The magic is in the love. You a torsion field. A push-pull energy. Right? Clear out the black hole. The black hole is the channel up the spine that's blocking the sacred sacorium. What's the job? What's the mission? The great arcana. It's called the great work, right? Right. Since Empress Fire 36944.